Hello and welcome to the latest Quaternion live stream. As you probably saw if you started watching this from the beginning, I still haven't rebranded my live stream post screen from the old QWeb branding. And yeah, I didn't mean to go into the live stream post screen either. I'm still getting used to the hotkeys I set because I set them a long time ago and I've forgotten a lot of them. Anyway, today I'm in Bus Simulator. I'm Michael and I'm gonna drive my two newest routes that I just made in my Bus Simulator 18 profile, which is the number 5 from Astra Promenade to Oak Street, and then the X6 from Astra Promenade to River Promenade. So basically just gonna do both of these routes one after the other with two different buses. Gonna do them in round trip mode because I'm trying to build up my virtual bus company's cash. A bit of news: Quaternion's website is now live. It's not finished, but I've decided to go ahead and make it live. The homepage is finished. Just a few links are broken at the moment. I'm gonna be working on that. I've decided to do this live stream because I won't necessarily be focusing as much on making videos to upload because it takes a longer time to record a video and edit it. I will have an upload. I'll either have an upload or a stream every week at a minimum. I need to go and work on getting the website finished and getting some game servers up and running, because Quaternion isn't just a YouTube channel, it's also a gaming community. We host game servers for Minecraft, for 5M, and we also are the infrastructure behind an up-and-coming roleplay server called Upper Hand Roleplay. You can check that out at uhrp.uk. Anyway, without any further ado, I'm gonna get straight into the driving. So, I've got a few buses, I'll show them off. I decided not to use a livery, a specific company livery. I might make one if I figure out how to import skins into this sim at a later date. But for now, I'm just concentrating on using these lovely country skins, or liveries. Each bus has a different one. So we've got the Mercedes Sitaro K, which is the bus you get first, which you start with. So that is in the Senegal livery, and I've decided to give each of my buses a custom German style number plate. The company's called Roadliner, so it's RL for Roadliner, and then numbers 1, and we've reached up to 4 now. So anyway, this is the Sitaro K, which I've customized the interior color as well. Then we have the Setra S416LE Business, and this is in the Australia livery. Really pretty livery. I really like it. Again, I've chosen... Actually, I don't think I chose a custom interior for this one. And again, you see the plate number. And I've got another Setra. I'm not really gonna stick to just Setra and Mercedes. I'm gonna have different ones. But for now, I thought I'll get a couple of Setras, a couple of Mercs. Well, the Merc you start with, and this other one here. So this is the S417UL Business. This is a Setra. Those of you that are hardcore bus enthusiasts such as myself remember, this company started out as Casbora, etc. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but they dropped the K. It used to have a prominent K badge. They dropped that from the badging, I believe, when they became part of EvoBus, which also owns or owned Mercedes-Benz bus division. So this is in the USA livery, custom interior as well. And finally we have the Sitaro, the full-size Sitaro 0530 in the Iceland livery, which I'm going to customize right now actually. Just gives you an idea of how you do the customization. So you go to bus garage, you select the bus, you click customize. That's where you can pick the skins, and apparently if you hover over a skin that picks it, apparently, which is rather annoying. So I now need to find the Iceland skin and put it back. There we go. Then if you want to change the interior, you'll want to zoom in till you can actually see it, and then click through the options, which this doesn't have an option for a custom one, so we're stuck with this one. I've already customized the number plate, but this is how you would do it if you wanted to. You can choose between different countries. I'm not going to change it because I'm happy with it. So you're going to click cancel to discard the changes, and now I'm going to jump into the actual route. Hi Flame, good to see you. How you doing? So here we basically, I am going to move this chat just a second so that you can see the names of the details of the route. So basically it gives you guidance of objectives. So my objectives were, my latest objectives are these ones on the screen. I'm just gonna pop the chat back up now. So my latest objectives were to create a route with 7 stops which connects Oakville, Sigvalden and Stokes of the Business Park. So I did that, that's the 5. And then it wanted me to drive it in round trip mode, which I'm gonna do. And then it wanted me to create a route to link these areas, which is the X6. And I'm to drive that route. It doesn't say to do it in round trip mode, I'm still gonna do it in round trip mode. Then that unlocks eastern areas, gives me 60,000 euros to spend on a new bus and some ads. Unlocks me to be able to put ads on my buses. So what I'm going to do is do the 2 routes, then obviously I'll show you the unlocking of the eastern area, and then I'll do the next stage of route planning just to give you an idea of what it's like to do route planning in this. I'm going to actually move the chat over here because, no, I'm not going to move it over here. Don't mind me moving the chat around all the time. Right, so we are gonna do this route during the night, simply because my mouse is broken now. Great. Too many programs open. There we go. Mouse is back. We're gonna do it at night. Quick start. Gonna have quick start off. The bus depot's next to Astra Promenade, so I've made all my routes except for one to start from there, so it's very easy to do the depot run. It's literally 500 meters, if even that, 100 meters. Round trip is on. Too early event is off because that's how I prefer it. And we're going to drive the Sitaro for this one. So off we go. Not cliched at all, cricket sounds at night. So first thing you need to do is unlock the bus door wings. You come round to the front and open the front door. In real life, before you do that, you'd go round and you'd inspect your bus for damage and make sure there's no damage around the bus and everything like that. So you need to jump in and unlock the rear doors, the two sets of rear doors, both wings on each door, and then jump into your cab and shut the door first. Stop it from kneeling when we start the bus. Start the bus up by pressing your ignition button 3 times. Click your light button twice to put your main headlights on. Pop the bus into drive. Unlike in real life or in OMSI, you don't have to hold down the foot brake to put it into drive. And let's turn on the interior lights, and off we go. My feelings on Bus Simulator are mixed. I love it and I enjoy playing it, but I wouldn't trade it for OMSI any day. OMSI is still my favourite, and probably always will be, just because in my mind, to me, as a bus enthusiast, I find it most realistic. Take the ticket selling in this, for example. It is a bit oversimplified, which does widen its appeal. Like, OMSI can be a steep learning curve because it doesn't give you much in the way of tutorials or anything. Its tutorial is in the manual. You read the manual and follow along, and that's your tutorial. Whereas this, you've got your tutorial built in, and it basically guides you through everything. Lots of aspects are simplified.
Hey there! Long time no see.
I do like the passenger dialogue. You do find in some OMSI maps or buses rather, there is generic chatter, but that's not the same as actually audibly hearing what people are saying. It does add to the kind of environment and immersion that you have the passengers chatting away while you drive. But I just miss the realistic gearbox simulation and all that we get in OMSI. The more realistic and dynamic sounds for the buses. I find the sounds in this are quite flat. They're not bad, and the driving physics is perfectly acceptable. I'd say the brakes should be a bit more sensitive, because if you're used to OMSI, you end up running or nearly running into things because you expect the brakes to be sharper like they are in OMSI, where a light press and you're gonna go through the windscreen. Well, not really. A light press is enough to stop you, and if you slam them on hard, you're gonna go through the windscreen. Whereas in this, if you slam them on hard, it's like half foot braking, 50% braking in OMSI. It's not the same at all. But what I do like is the economy, the company building side of things. I like that. Personally, I like having both of these, both Bus Simulator 18 and OMSI 2, for different purposes. When I'm in the mood for a purely what I feel is realistic driving experience, I'll jump into OMSI. But when I feel like focusing a bit more on the money making side of things, because in this you're basically an owner-driver. You own the bus company, you hire drivers, but you also drive the buses yourself sometimes, much like the owners of smaller bus companies in real life do. So I like that aspect. I like the fact that you can plan the routes without
Are we late or something?
needing... No, we're not late. I just like driving fast. You can plan the routes without needing the technical know-how to use OMSI's editor. OMSI's editor, I don't personally find it that difficult to use, but it's no comparison to making a route in Bus Simulator 18. Here you simply click on a few stops and you've made your route. That's it, done. Route planned, and half the time it's one of the objectives and they've already told you where a route's needed. Whereas if you're making a route in OMSI, obviously it's not based on statistics like how many passengers are looking for a bus at a certain stop. You're simply making a route either based on real life or what you want to make, and you set how many passengers appear at the stop. You set how many passengers tend to get off at the stop. You're in control of every aspect, which allows you to accurately simulate real-life routes based on real-life factors, real-life statistics. If, for example, if you are making a model of a route and you know that at a certain stop no one ever boards, but many people get off, you can set that in OMSI 2. Right, well, OMSI 1 and 2. But OMSI 2 adds a few more extra features. Oops, didn't avoid that pothole. But yeah, in terms of... Oh dear me, I'm terrible at this. In terms of simplicity, I like the simplicity of this. I can just jump in, plan my routes, drive them, and one of the big things is the multiplayer, so I can drive with my friends. Either my friend can drive the bus and I can be the ticket inspector, or vice versa, or we can each have our buses and drive the routes. That is a good feature. That reminds me of the days of Midterm Madness 2, where you used to download bus mods and play multiplayer together, driving buses, stopping at bus stops. You had to use your imagination back then because the bus stops were real in the maps, but there weren't any passengers getting on. You couldn't open the doors in any or most of the buses, and it was basically driving around and playing at bus driving with buses that didn't have that many features in terms of interaction. You basically drove the bus and that was it, but they were detailed enough to be enjoyable. The sounds were good enough to give you an impression of the bus. The sound, I'd say that if you're wondering what the sounds kind of sounded like, I don't know what she's going on about chickens and crossing the road. I didn't see any chicken. Anyway, if you're wondering what the sounds of buses would be like in Midtown Madness 2, it was pretty similar to this, where what the sounds weren't complex sounds modelled on the engine and gearbox like in OMSI. It was just a basic sound at any given RPM like you get in this. But, as I say, that is a valuable feature, and if OMSI 2 had multiplayer where you could see one another driving, that would just make it absolutely perfect. Someone's in a hurry. For a change, it's not myself.
This parking position is just perfect.
Why, thank you, passenger. So yeah, I do enjoy this quite a lot, and I've been playing it quite a lot recently, over the past couple of days, so I thought I'd jump in and give a reasonably quick stream, just to give a bit of variety, because obviously I have done so many OMSI 2 videos, so I'm to give Bus Sim 18 the spotlight for a change. See, I saw that one, but I avoided it a bit too late. So, personally, a lot of people I've spoken to have issues with OMSI 2's graphics, but myself personally, I prefer its graphical style. I find it more detailed, everything's just more legible in OMSI 2, but this style isn't bad. It's kind of like a more basic version of the Euro Truck Simulator 2 style. If it could just have enough detail that I could read my speedometer in this as clearly as I can read it in OMSI 2. If I could, if every bus had the lighting of the dials in the way that you get in OMSI 2, then it would be perfect, if you ask me. One feature that I really love though is the other bus drivers flash their lights at you. It seems like such a simple feature, but it just gives you that feeling of immersion and realism. That is something that I do find lacking in OMSI 2. Just, if it could be scripted that when you pass another bus, either the driver waves at you or flashes their lights, it just brings that realism that you really feel that you're in a living world. And here in the flash burst speed camera. Ooh, so I was talking about the brakes and not what I expected it to be. But yeah, I do very much like that feature. And it's also satisfying to see the other buses in your company driving the routes you assigned them to. That's a feature that I think Euro Truck Simulator 2 needs to implement with the trucks, that the trucks in your company should be seen, because it tells you in text format in Euro Truck Simulator 2 that this is what your drivers are doing, this is what they're hauling. You tell them which truck to drive and which trailer to use, and it tells you what they're hauling and where they're hauling it to. They should code that in so that you can see it when you're out in the game world. You should be able to see your drivers and your trucks driving. Really must put this to SCS the next time they ask for input from users, from customers. That it would be so valuable if they would implement in the similar way to Bus Simulator 18, that you see the trucks driving around doing whatever route they're meant to be doing. I think I hit the curves. And then also they should flash their lights at you. And I think that would be a valuable feature. Anyway, but a bit about the bus, which is something that I started with Onzu. It's must be the second or third time I've seen that bus today. Or was it the other section that I had seen? Let's put my high beams on and then I might see those block holes. And then blind the other drivers. So this is a Mercedes Sitaro. This, as far as I'm aware, is the newest generation of the Sitaro, known as the C2, and it's an evolution of the original Sitaro, which I believe was launched in 1997 or 1990. Why am I stopping here? This is one of those stops. 1997 or 1999, something like that. And yeah, it basically it was launched. Oh dear me! It was launched to replace the by then rather aging, at least by German standards, Mercedes. Oh dear, it's not letting me out. That's probably my fault, I should have waited. Give him a flash of the old hazards for thanks. The aging by German, the Sitaro, the original Sitaro replaced the aging, at least by German standards, Mercedes 0405 N2 by then, which of course originated as the 0405, then the 0405N, N being Niederflurbus, which is German for low floor bus, Niederflurbus I should say. And so that started as the 0405 and evolved or was updated as the low floor 0405N and then the N2, which gave slightly updated styling to make it more, well, stylish. Then the Sitaro came out with a whole new, totally fresh, modern look. And that continued until it was refreshed as the facelift. And then that was replaced by this, the C2 variant that again modernized the shape. You can tell that Mercedes-Benz is keen to stay at the forefront of modern, stylish bus design. It wants to show... Oh, let's give this guy's tickets. How are you, sir? So here's it. The mouse sometimes sticks a bit on this. I'm trying to go do a ticket.
Thank you.
One ticket, please.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
No problem. So, as I was saying... Oh, there's the number 2 again. The door seems to be blocked. Excuse me, sir, can I ask you to take a seat, please? Thank you very much. While I'm up, I'll just make sure everyone's got a valid ticket.
Of course.
Where is it? Ah, here you go.
Well, thank
What?
you.
Oh, here you go.
Thank you. Yep, that's something else that you can do. That's what you can do in multiplayer. You can have one person that their job is to just check tickets, make sure no one's snuck in through one of the back doors without paying. and if they haven't paid, you extract the fine from them of 120 euros.
Oh, it was awesome. Sightseeing and shopping all day long.
Anyway,
Next year.
see if I was editing this video, I would do a pothole count. Anyway, as I was
I'm
saying,
still not sure if I
Mercedes,
wouldn't be faster by bike.
you would not be faster by bike. I'm 100% sure of that. We might take about the same time with the stops. Anyway, I believe Mercedes-Benz is aiming to have the same kind of quality in their bus products that they're known for in their car products. And you can just see it in the dashboards, in the engines, especially in the Sitaro, which is arguably their flagship bus, and the 0405 series before it. It simply has a premium feel to it. It always has an engine that has adequate power, the same as they provide in their cars. You'd very rarely find an underpowered Mercedes car, if ever. Excuse me. And I've not experienced an underpowered Mercedes bus. Granted, some of their smaller engines are not the best, but I've never known those to be used in any of their own built buses. But buses like the Wright Streetlight and Opta Sitaro, both built in the UK, use some of Mercedes' smaller engines, which seem to be underpowered. But as I say, those aren't Mercedes-Benz complete products. So it wasn't Mercedes-Benz choice to put those engines in those buses. That was the choice of the respective manufacturers, Opta and Wright Bus, choosing to use those particular engines in those products. So that's my opinion anyway. Well, it's not really, it's based, in a way it's a fact that the manufacturers chose to use those engines. So you can't really blame Mercedes-Benz as the engine manufacturer for making the engines, because they, as far as I'm aware, have no say in the application. I believe one as a bus manufacturer would simply go and order as many engines as you would need and put them into your products. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Sitaro. I love the bus. I always enjoy traveling in them, and I always enjoy driving them in Bus Sim 18 and MZ2. And yeah, I just love the styling of it. It's so modern and just looks good. The iconic bonded glazing with the black glossy glass. Although it's not as glossy on this because it's got basically a wrap, but it's just a stylish bus. I've got the scrolling destination displays in Bus Simulator 18 as opposed to OMSI2's displays that you set yourself. It it's all very user-friendly. You just get in, make your route, drive your bus. Not that you've got a bit. It's enough. It's detailed enough that it can be classed as a simulator and not just a game. In that it does simulate what it to the most part what it's like to be a bus driver and a bus company owner. But I still feel OMSI simulates the former in a lot more detail in terms of the things you have to do, like setting up your destination display, and every bus, different buses have different ways of being turned on, plus you're expected to learn the route, hence why you don't get a sat-nav or GPS, whatever you prefer to call it. You simply get route helpers, which, by the way, are added by the creators of the maps. So if they chose to not include them, that is a distinct possibility. And getting this bus in reverse at night is quite a challenge. So I'm probably just going to drive it in forwards. Don't mind me casually driving over the pavement. And one would hope no one's standing behind the bus when I was reversing. Should have beat following. But it's a bit late at night for that. And in we go. So, as you probably noticed, you need to clean the rubbish from the bus. At the end of the trip, I tend to do that at the last stop. And then if you're ending at the depot, get to the depot. Apparently the lights turn themselves off when you turn the bus off. Oh, actually the passenger lights don't. Although I don't think it actually notices if you don't turn those off. But you do need to go and relock the rear doors. You can always press the end button like it's saying to end the route immediately, but as I've decided to do it including the depot runs, I'm doing the final checks. You stand right next to the door and click, it opens it, and then you close it and it gives you your summary. So let's see. Apparently the collision with the bushes cost me 1,000 euros and a bit. The speeding tickets cost me 400 euros, but overall it made 13,621 euros and 94 cents this week. I think each time you do a bus route it counts as a week, but I'll test that theory out. It's week 17 here, so when we've done the X6 we'll see what week it is. So a bit about routes here. I'll just get rid of the chat for a second. You need to drive the route before you can expect a driver that you've added, which I'll go into adding drivers to a route in a second. Before you expect the virtual drivers to make any money, you need to drive the route yourself at least once. So here expected revenue is 0 because I've not assigned a driver. That will change in a moment when I assign a driver. And that says how long it took me to run the route, or how long it expects me to take to run the route, I should say. And so you get the expected revenue, which is what the virtual drivers will earn for you, and the best result is obviously your best revenue result or their best revenue result, I guess. So currently this is the most profitable route, the number 2 from Astra Promenade to Old Sawmill. You make up your own routes, you choose your own numbers, so I might rename my routes. I've currently been numbering them in order of the default, which is the first route's number 1, the next one is 2 and 3, but I've added X for the express routes, which have limited amounts of stops. I did not mean to click on that. It's annoying that sometimes the mouse cursor disappears. Anyway, so let's jump into assigning drivers and buses. I do not currently have enough to buy another bus, but I can hire other drivers. So if I go over to employees and let's hire one professional and one journeyman, and then we go back to the route planner. If we shall assign Jeremiah's Schaffer to the route 5. We don't have a bus for him right now, but that's the route that he will drive once we have a bus for him. And if we do the same thing, but this time we select Cast and Shield, we've assigned a driver to the route 6. And so that's basically how you assign drivers to your routes. And as they work in your company, they work up in levels. I don't know what the highest level is. Could be professional, but certainly they start as apprentices and work through journeyman to professional, I believe. So the next thing we're going to do, excuse me if I don't sound too clear because it is 2 a.m. for me, so I'm a bit tired, but I wanted to do this stream because I wanted to do these routes and level up in this, and so I thought I'd stream it. So yeah, I do apologize for my rather tired sounding voice at the moment, and I hope that this is still an enjoyable and engaging stream. So, reactivating the chat overlay and moving through back to the driving, because of course you're probably most likely watching this for the driving and not for the tutorial part. Maybe you're watching it to see how the simulator works, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to drive the X6, and on the X6 I'm going to drive the S14UL Business, the Sitaro, which I have in the lovely United States of America livery, which was chosen by a friend of mine, and I love it. It really suits the lines of the bus very well, and so I'm going to do this as rainy day instead, because I feel like doing it as a rainy day. And let's get started. And so, same as before, you unlock the bus and get in to unlock the back door. this is obviously a coach style bus. So coach bus, high floor, step entrance. I don't know if it has a wheelchair ramp, if it's wheelchair accessible or not. Certainly no branding or stickering to suggest that. What I'll do is start it up and make sure the rear door is closed and try and deploy wheelchair ramp. No, that's not working, so it's not got any kind of wheelchair ramp or lift. So it is a case of if someone requires wheelchair access, this bus just isn't going to provide that, which is a shame. So I don't know that much about this bus, but what I can say is I would regard this to be part of a class of Uberland wagons. I believe it's basically it's a service coach. And in Germany, service coaches tend to have two doors, the same as service buses. And it's not as luxurious as a tourist coach would be, but it's still more luxurious by far than a standard service bus. It has the high-backed seating, which you can see. It's not as high backed as you'd find in a tourist coach. It's not reclining from what I can see, but it's comfortable enough. It's got ample luggage room above you, and it's got a bit of window tint and air conditioning, of course. No opening windows, as you can see. So that does give you a more upmarket feel to the bus, and it just makes it a bit more special to travel in. And so I do like the style of this bus, and it reminds me of the older Sitras in a way, because it is step entrance. It's more like an OG Sitra from way back when low floor wasn't even a thing, which for Germany was quite a long time ago. In the UK, where I'm from, low floor buses were first introduced in, I believe, 1994, low floor single deckers. In Germany, they were introduced back in 1986. So
I need a ticket. I
as
think
far
you're
as I'm
blocking
aware,
the door.
1986. So it was nearly a decade between Germany introducing low floor buses and the UK finally catching on.
Thanks.
So I feel like Germany's always been a pioneer in transportation, in public transportation, in high-speed rail, for instance, in low-floor buses, in high specification buses for that matter,
You're coming to the party of the old song, right?
in buses that are designed for powerful country running as opposed to trundling around a busy city centre. So I chose this bus for this route because, and I'm hoping that as I progress I'll be able to add more buses to routes and therefore have like a frequency rather than one bus running the route. And I chose this bus for the route. Come on, he stopped, you should have gone. Oh dear. I chose this bus for the route because it's suited to the long nature of the route, to the express nature of the route. Because this route just has a few stops in this, shall we say, the starting district, the business district.
You should turn your lights on.
And the turn the lights on at the passenger lane. And then it goes out to the old district, the city centre. So it does need, in my opinion, it does need, in my opinion, one of the most comfortable buses. But of course, when I do get the opportunity to add more than one bus to the route,
I think I'll need several tickets, please.
I will add low floor buses to the route so that the handicapped or disabled are catered for. Important to have that available so that everyone can make the journey that they need to make by bus.
Thank you.
So I would be interested to hear in the comments what you think of my new style of videos. Of the business now here, I don't know what you're talking about. Of commentating throughout the whole video and kind of giving a bit of interaction with the virtual characters, the NPCs, as I do my OMSI and Bus Simulator 18 drives. I'll be doing that with other games as well. And I intend to get some of my friends to join me in some of my live streams and videos. Like I had Flame join in the reaction to David's TV video. And hopefully I can make the channel a bit more interesting and engaging for everyone. A bit more interesting and engaging for everyone, and yeah, make your comments if there's any suggestions you've got of what you'd like to see in future videos. I am intending
Cabin lights off.
Cabin lights are on. We're definitely on now. I am intending to start using a webcam and I'll actually show my face and introduce each video at the beginning and maybe say a few words at the end and have, if I can figure out the best positioning for the camera, have a bit of a wheel cam. And then to be able to see what I'm doing with my gaming wheel as I drive. or it will show you my hands on my keyboard and mouse if it's not driving
No,
in,
my phone battery drained again.
or possibly just my face so you can see my facial expressions. Just, I'm trying to make things more engaging because I'm trying to grow this channel, and I'm also, as I've said before, planning to set up other channels, and so I just want to put my best and my all into the channel because I'm very grateful for all you guys that watch this, because it means a lot to me to know that I'm actually, little old me is making something that someone else is interested in watching, or that someone else is interested in listening to me rambling on for hours on topics that I love. And as I said, I'm going to try and get my friends involved, especially in this channel, because I don't want this channel to be all about me. I want it to have more variety, and while I will try and make the videos follow a similar sort of format and similar topics, just so that there's a cohesion between the different videos. What I'm trying to say in simple terms, while I did at one point want to make this channel all things to all people, I've realized that it just doesn't work like that. Yes, there should be variety in a channel, I am a strong believer in that, but there also needs to be a general focus. Variety along a theme, you might call it, rather than variety for variety's sake. Which is why I've dropped the real life bus videos from this channel and driving videos from this channel.
What?
Because
How did I end up here?
I'm not sure. I drove the bus, got on the bus, and now we're here. Anyway, as interacting with NPCs aside, that's the channel. I believe each channel needs to have its main focus along related themes, unless it's just going to be a kind of blog channel, which I am planning to set up that kind of thing. Don't mind me swerving the potholes like mad. You can probably hear my gaming ears screaming as I do that. Whoops, didn't see that one at all. It's really, as I said, a good idea to have a focus along a common theme, which is why I'm mainly focusing Quaternion on gaming and tech. Those are two very related subjects, whereas driving and bus driving, while there's a relation to OMSI, it's not quite such a close relation, and I'd prefer that my viewers that want to see that sort of thing, once I establish the channel that's going to focus on those aspects, which I do promise will come soon. I cannot give a date at this point because there's a lot of planning I need to go through to make sure that I execute the creation of the new channel in a proper way, because that channel is going to most likely be a lot of me going out and filming stuff, which with the current situation is difficult, but as YouTube is my main occupation at the moment, which, as you can see from the fact that the channel doesn't have 1,000 subscribers, isn't that profitable or at all profitable, but we have to start somewhere. It doesn't mean I don't do other things for income in my life. I do other IT-related projects and driving-related work, such as delivery work and stuff like that for income, but this is something that I want eventually to be my main stream of income, and so I do need to make decisions carefully and decidedly. Like once that channel for bus rides and car drives, if I do indeed, as I'm currently thinking, make both in the same channel, vehicles with vehicles, after all, I need to make sure that I'm doing it in the best way, and once I've decided what I'm calling it and what the format of the videos should be, I need to stick to that, and that's why I'm taking long to actually set up that channel. And obviously I don't necessarily have that much content at the moment for that, but I do have a little bit of content, and I will launch the channel with that content in the decided format once I've selected all of that. So that's why the delay, but I'd say hopefully by the end of next month that channel should be live, and it will most likely have a website of its own, and it will be announced on the Quaternion website, which is quaternion.info. And it will also be announced on this channel, and so stay tuned and you won't miss a thing. Whoops. Those speed bumps. I hate them. So yes, that is still coming. And if you have any suggestions for that, I would welcome those suggestions as well. Another thing is, there will be a Quaternion forum, and there is a Quaternion Discord server. The links for those are on the website. Those links should be active by at least 12 hours from now. Those links should be active on the website quaternion.info, which are the website and all our social media that should be scrolling on the top of the screen right now. And I do apologize for not having updated logos and branding. We'll still be showing the old QWeb branding on our social media. That's why, as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm taking a bit of a break from content creating to do some of the, what I like to call infrastructure, what you might call behind the scenes work or supporting work, just to build up the brand, because I did take a very long break from what was then the QWeb YouTube channel and was meant to become a gaming community. I did do some steps to establishing it as a gaming community, but it never really got further than just my friends being involved, and I really do want to grow that aspect. Because gaming is a big part of my life, and I want to spread that and have others join in with that. Music is also a big part of my life, so Q Music is going to be a thing. Q Radio as well. Basically, think of Q Music as kind of major record label / production company, and Q Radio is our station. I will be advertising for DJs once we're at that stage. I will also be selling advertising slots. So if you want to get your product, your page, your channel advertised, that will be something that you can get. We'll offer an initial free period, and then it will obviously be paid, and all that money will go to buying equipment and licenses for music and all sorts of stuff like that, so that we can get more diverse content on Q Radio. And yeah, it's more than just a YouTube channel, it's pertaining Q Music and Q Radio are branches of that, and as is the gaming community. So hopefully
See ya.
get more engagement in that, and
One
hopefully
chicken, please.
grow the brand and grow the listener base of Q Radio.
May I have a ticket, please?
And yeah, goal for Battalion is 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I know we can do it, and I can't do it, and neither can any of my friends who are also staff in Battalion. We can't do it without you, the viewers. The viewers, you watching this right now, you hearing me droning along for the last hour or so, or it feels like an hour or so. It has been an hour and 8 minutes. You are the ones, or the one who can help us get to 1,000 subscribers. Share this video to your friends if you like it. Share any of our videos, share the channel. Comment, like, subscribe, because that brings the channel to new viewers by the fact that you're engaging with it. That tells YouTube's algorithm what's popular and what's not. So I know practically every YouTuber says the same thing. That's because it's true. Every YouTuber is out there trying to make their channel a place where people want to be, trying to engage with their viewers, or I should hope that they are. And I think everyone that starts putting videos on YouTube has the dream of seeing their subscriber numbers growing and growing, because that's so motivating when you see that people love what you do. It just makes you want to do better and better, and I've certainly found that. And I'm sure any of you watching that are also content creators, whether on YouTube or on any other platform, feel the same way. As you see people engaging with you and engaging with your content and showing their support, it probably makes you want to get up in the morning and make some money. See this bus and the crowd? I think they're in love with each other. No, it's just my terrible driving. Like someone's listening to loud music. And according to the rules of Bus Simulator 18, I need to tell them to stop. I need to find them first. Excuse me,
My bad.
please stop.
I'll turn it down.
Thank you. Right. Back on the road. yes, I do appreciate every one of you that likes and subscribes, especially those of you that comment, because that's how I get to engage with you. Obviously, I'm talking to you through the videos, but obviously it's not a two-way system, it's not a meeting, so you can't tell me unless you write in the chat during a live stream or write a comment afterwards or on a video that wasn't streamed live. Unless you tell me what I'm doing right or wrong, I can't really improve other than what I think I'm doing right or wrong. And so I do need that engagement with you guys to know what improvements I can make or what things I need to keep on doing because I'm doing it right. Of course, viewer numbers do mean a thing, so that's why I've done a lot of ONZ2 videos, because it seems that you guys like to watch those more than my other videos. I do want to make variety on the channel, so I am planning to do more videos of games and pieces of technology that I've not done. So I do love reviewing tech, and I've not done many of those so far, so I am planning to do more of those in the future. In terms of Quaternium's game servers, they're really fun places to be. Now, in the works is a server for 5M that is currently known as Quaternium Police Service. Now that name might change because it's not finalized, but the general
Ghost! In the last episode of Winter of Passion,
purpose of this server is for 5PD, which if you don't know what that is, well, first of all, 5M, if you don't know what that is a modification for Grand Theft Auto 5 or GTA 5, specifically based on GTA Online, and it allows server developers such as myself to customize the experience, the user experience, through implementing various different modifications. So this 5PD is the main modification that's on that server, and so I'm intending to have a variety of police cars for you to drive doing callouts, which is what 5PD is about. And it will also have a roleplay element, and planning on implementing an economy element. So, if you've got any suggestions for that, I will make a section on the website and Discord server and the upcoming forums to get ideas for what should be included. The server is currently live. If you want to connect to it at the moment, you can connect to it by going through 5M, pressing F8 and typing in uhrp.uk, then a colon, and then the number 30911. So that's uhrp.uk colon 30911. That's the details to connect to the Quaternium Police Service 5M server. There's also a Quaternium Minecraft server provided by my friend Hans, which is called Quaternium Minecraft by Hans. Excuse me. So it's hosted by Hans Latins rather than Quaternion directly. But it is fully managed by Quaternion, so you can expect the same high level of service that we stand for here at Quaternion. Qualitas Cadon Virtus. It's too late at night for me to be speaking Latin, but that is our slogan, which I've probably horribly mispronounced because, as I said, too late at night for me to be speaking Latin. But that is our slogan, and it means it's Latin for qualitative excellence, which is what we strive for here at Quaternion. So I am too tired to even drive this bus into the depot, so I'm going to hit end here. But thank you so much for watching this live stream. I'm going to go and work on exciting stuff like setting up websites and email servers, which is a thing that I need to do. It's so much fun when you're your own sysadmin. But thank you for watching this stream. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please like, comment and subscribe. One more thing I am gonna quickly just do is buy the next bus, so I give you an idea of what it's like to buy a bus in Bus Sim 18. So let me just check. Oh, the Iveco Urban Way. Oh, we can't afford that. Can we afford this one? No, we can't afford that either. Can I afford that one? No, we can't afford that either. Probably can't afford this one. No, we can't. We can't afford that one either. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, and we're gonna buy not that one. We're gonna buy the Man Lion City A37, which is the newest version of the Man Lion City, which is another favorite of mine. I don't know when it was originally launched, but it basically follows on from the line started by the SL 200, then later NL202, and so on and so forth. So we're just gonna buy this bus, and we're gonna customize it, and we're gonna pick a skin for it. We're gonna pick that did not work at all. I'll pick the Austrian theme for it, skin for it, and then we're going to customize the license plate in the same series as the other buses. This is the 5th bus, so it shall be RL5, and apply, and we're going to assign the bus to the route number 5.
Excellent work. I knew you could pull it off. I'm happy to hand you the keys to the agricultural and industrial areas. Metaphorically speaking, of course. We haven't done real keys in a very long time. No matter. We're really looking forward to your plans to incorporate these two traffic-dense areas into your network.
If you manage to pull this off, the city is willing to reopen up the southern areas and Steineck for public transport. Some friends of mine are planning to marry at the chapel there. Maybe we'll get this up and running in time for the wedding guests to use public transport. Oh, and before I forget, they also promised a juicy government subsidy as an incentive.
So one thing I did say, so that's that unlocked. So one thing I did say is I would show the process of adding adverts to a bus, but I will do that at a later stream. So thank you for watching, and hope you have a good night or day, whatever time you're watching this, and I will see you in